In addition to guiding social workers through the case management workflow, the application lets social workers plan, refer, and implement services for their beneficiaries. Social workers can plan, document, and refer for services using the services form. As an example, for this case, I'm going to plan a session with a service provider specializing in mental health services. Here, I'm going to specify the service type as mental health services. Then, I'll choose an agency. Right now, I want to refer to a local organization called Pioneer Valley Medical Center. Next, I'm going to specify where this service is taking place so that we can find nearby providers. Now, when I click into the service provider name field, I can choose the system user who will provide the service. I can also set an appointment date for the service. This will set a task due date to remind me later that this service needs to be completed. Once you've saved a case with services, you can refer it to the users who will be providing these services. What does referring a case mean? A referral is a way of temporarily sharing parts of your case with other users who you're collaborating with. In this situation, referring your case will allow the service provider who will work with the beneficiary to access and update relevant information about the case and the services they are implementing. Later, we will talk about other ways of sharing your case in SALIS. Once you've added the new service, you can refer your case to the service provider. Note that unless the beneficiary has given their consent to share information, you will not be able to refer your case. SALIS imposes this restriction to make sure the informed consent of the beneficiary is respected. As I refer my case for this service, I'm going to leave a note for the service provider giving some explanation about the service they need to perform. Note that I can always revoke access to this case later if I need to. I'm logged in as Sandra Davies, a service provider at Pioneer Valley Medical Center. On my dashboard, I can see that I have a new referral. When I go into the case, I check the referrals form to see why the case has been shared with me and if the beneficiary's social worker has left any notes about the services needed. Let's accept the referral and get to work. You'll notice I can only see a few forms on this case. Users see different forms on cases based on their roles. Because I'm a service provider, I will only be able to see and update information relevant to my job. Once the services I am providing for this beneficiary are fully implemented, I will mark the referral as done. At this point, I will lose access to the case, and the social worker will see that the service for this referral is complete. I'll also leave a note with some details about the service. Logged in as the social worker again, back on my dashboard, I see that one of my cases has recent updates. When I click through to the list of updated cases, I see our case from earlier. An alert appears on the case to let me know that changes have occurred. It looks like there's an alert on the services form. When I click into the service, I can see that the service provider has recently added some new information. Here, I can see any notes that the service provider left. I can also see that the service was recently completed. If I go back to the referrals form, I can see that the referral is now done and that the service provider no longer has access to the case. Now I can update my case plan, schedule follow-ups, or consult with my manager about whether the case needs to be closed.